Welcome back to the Drake and Josh Christmas special. I don't fucking know, it sounded funnier in my head. Anyway, you see I caught the skip loom? In the previous episode I had failed to do so, but I managed to pull it off on camera. But none of that got recorded, so you'll just have to use your imagination. I should put in like a special title card in the video where I can instruct the audience to pause the video and use their imaginations now. That would be kind of funny, but it's not funny enough for me to actually take time out of my day and make it happen. So here we got the Shadow Knocked Owl. I was predicting we'd run into that like 2 episodes ago, but here it is now. Here and Now, just like the song Here and Now by Luther Vandross. You think Luther Vandross ever knew about Pokemon? I know very little about the man, except he was on that commercial that used to run on Cartoon Network in the early 2000s for the music CD of all the slow love songs, and they'd play samples from the different songs on the CD, and they had the one by Luther Vandross, and he was like, Here and Now. Yeah, that one. Okay, here we go. We're gonna make our attempt to catch the Knocked Owl. How'd you see Bayleaf has a second move now? It's got a healing move. That's pretty cool, huh? You slowly get your moves back with the Shadow Pokemon, if I haven't already mentioned that. Alrighty, well, there goes our one Great Ball. I mentioned in a previous episode I like to live on the edge, so here's some of that artificially created tension right here. I'm probably gonna run out of Pokeballs in this match, because we just got the crappy regular ones to go with now, and those barely even work. So also, the Shadow Pokemon can't level up until they turn back into regular Pokemon, so that's another limitation, but all the experience that you would have gained while they were Shadow Pokemon is given to you later. So like if you do enough battles to gain 1,000 experience, so once you turn back into a regular Pokemon, you get 1,000 experience right at the start. So it's still being counted, it just all comes at once later. Okay, just 2 Pokeballs left, and that Knocked Owl is putting up a fight. At least Ladybuzz out of the way, so that should give us more energy. Oh, he's got a second one. Okay, anyway, there's no Shadow Ladybird. I almost said labia. There's no Shadow Ladybird in this game. There is one in Pokemon XD though, but Ladybird isn't even really that good of a Pokemon overall, so I don't know why I'm taking the time to point this out to you. Okay, how are we gonna pull this off? We just got 2 chances, and then it's all hosed if we don't make it happen. Okay, here we go, second to last attempt. Cross your fingers, everybody. That one wasn't even close. Just swatted that thing right out of the air, practically. Okay, that Wingull did not stand a chance. I don't think. Okay, yeah, he doesn't have any additional Pokemon after that. So now, as the Pokemon Stadium 2 announcer says, 1 Pokemon faces 2 now. The something. I haven't actually heard the line in many years. One of these days I should play Pokemon Stadium 2 on this channel. That game's just a good old time. I played it on that live stream that's still on this channel somewhere. I was certainly well, I guess we're not gonna have a Knocked Owl on our team. We blew our last chance, unless we re-challenge the trainer, but do we really want to go with that much effort just for Knocked Owl of all Pokemon? He's not visually appealing. He's all brown and gross looking. Anyway, just to conclude my point, there was the Pokemon Stadium 2 live stream I did about 1.5 years ago, and the other guys on the stream certainly weren't having a good time, but I was, and that made it even funnier, to be honest. They were just getting annoyed with me. Why are you making us do this? Good times. Okay, so that's a no on Noctowl, and we're gonna need to buy more balls if we wanna catch anything else. I probably want to heal first since Bayleaf really took a header. So now that things have calmed down in the game, we can talk about regular stuff. So speaking of regular stuff, let's see what I got written down here. So I was the other day, I might have told this story before, but the other day there was really just this sign that time really tends to sneak up on you in large amounts, and it can really hit you, because I was watching just old Family Guy episodes on Hulu, and there was this one episode that in my mind was a relatively recent episode. It had come out, anyway, it seemed like one of the newer ones as far as I can tell, and as I was watching it, the aspect ratio was in 4:3, which I thought, gee, that's kind of weird. Didn't this one somewhat recently come out in past few years? And I looked at the information, and it came out 11 years ago. I couldn't believe it. It was the one where they become Jews, and Peter's new Jewish name was just like a phlegm noise that he makes 3 times. Anyway, let's get back to the game here. So that crevasse that the pink-shirted man was looking down, I think you actually get to go down there later in the game, and they call that like the Under, and that's where all the seedy activity happens in Pokemon World. It's either this game or Pokemon XD where they do that. The two games are quite similar. Do you notice the music in the background here is the same one from the file select menu for when you first turn on the game? That's a pretty neat secret, isn't it? Or maybe they're just lazy and they're just reusing the music. Okay, can we enter the big fancy Colosseum? Oh, no we cannot. Well, I guess that was just a waste of time, huh? It just clicked for me that there was a Pokemon Center machine in that building. We could have used that instead of paying that mustachioed man $100 to heal over there in his hotel of sorts. Wish I had thought of that. So, where do we go now? I believe the plot dictates that we have to enter the big tournament, but they told us to go away, so that now we're gonna be all lost and confused for the rest of the episode. And they don't sell Pokeballs at this particular Pokemart because fuck you, that's why. Oh dear. So, here's something. The other day I was watching a clip from Wonder Chosen. It's that old MTV show from like 2003. It was like a variety skit show of sorts, and they had this skit where this guy had this silly puppet that he would go around and he would talk to people on the streets and just like annoy them with the puppet and ask them ridiculous questions. And anyway, for one of the people that he asked, he really went up to the wrong guy, honestly, because the guy was almost like a philosopher or something crazy like that, and he gave this super deep and meaningful answer that had no place in such a ridiculous show. So like the puppet comes up to him and says, "Hey, what would your right eye say to your left eye?" And then the philosopher says, I gotta think. It would say, "Do not look upon the past, for there you will find no answers, but rather look towards oneself and strive to become a more content person," or something like that. I don't think those were his exact words, but still, that was just so strange and out of place and a goofy show like that. And then he tried to shove the puppet up the guy's nose a couple minutes later. Just made the whole thing so bizarre. An already bizarre show becomes even further bizarre. Yeah, that makes sense. Even further bizarre, and I lost track of where I was going with this sentence. An already bizarre show becomes even further bizarre, so I guess in that sense it did fit the show. I hope I'm not losing my mind. I seem to be losing track of the things I'm saying pretty quickly. Oh dear, oh dear. So this guy's got a shadow ferret. It's pretty cool, huh? All the furries out there love their ferrets. I feel like the name ferret, if it wasn't taken by Pokemon, could be used in a more humorous context. It just reminds me of that Sleepy Cast bit where Zach tried to come up with the fake animal of Froggets, and he said his dad would yell at him, "What are all these gosh darn Froggets doing on the lawn?" And he loved to make up stories. Oh dear, oh dear. So, you think Stan Lee knew about Pokemon when he was around? I'd imagine he'd have to. Some hyperactive fan probably ran up to him at a convention and tried to get him to give his opinion on Pokemon, even though he was like 80 years old and totally out of touch with that sort of thing. Cons always attract the worst type of people. Bayleaf does not have good defense. All these attacks are doing far more than they should. Okay, we have to be cautious with Ferret, because it's just got a small sliver of health left. But since this is a pre-recorded video, I can spoil it for you and tell you that we will catch the Ferrets, so no need to be alarmed. We can all sit back and relax, having confidence in the fact that the Ferret will indeed be caught. I can assure you of that. Here we go. You notice the animation of the hand around the Pokeball when you throw it at things? That's kinda cool, huh? And now it's time for a regular staple of this channel. I gotta make weird microphone noises by swapping the mic from one hand to the other as it gets tired. So here we go. The annual the annual hand swap. There we go, that's an improvement. I'd imagine if I make these Let's Plays often enough, eventually my arms will stop getting tired, because I'd build up more of that muscle and I can hold a 5-pound object up to my face for 15 minutes at a time without needing to switch hands. Someday, but not today, as that guard said in that episode of SpongeBob where they went to medieval times. Remember that? That was so fucking weird. They put a suicide joke in an episode of SpongeBob of all places. That episode was definitely made by a second crop of writers. I'm assuming all the original writers were gone at that point and they were just replaced by talented hacks who couldn't quite figure out how the show works. That's always gotta be tough, is walking onto a show as a writer when the show's already established, because you know, you don't want the characters to act out of character, but then at the same time, you want them to do new things, and if you try to keep the scripts consistent with the old ones, the characters just end up becoming exaggerated versions of themselves, but if you try to deviate from the old scripts, then the characters just turn into completely different characters. Being a TV writer is hard, I assume. I mean, I don't know, I ain't a TV writer, I'm just some chump. I'm just a Let's Player. There goes 70s McGee. We get to fight him in full, eventually. What's that old man doing over there? Did you see him just staring at us with his happy expression? I love the young people. Oh, old man, you are silly. And just one last quick thing before the episode ends. We're just gonna look at the PC box system now that we finally got more than 6 Pokemon, and we'll make some brief party changes. And there goes Skiploom. It was present on the team for exactly 1 episode. Alrighty, let's turn this off.